So the next concept is figuring out where your corridors are going to cross your maze boundaries, right? Or your rotating circle boundaries, because where the rotating circle boundaries are, you need all of the entrances and exits there to be symmetrical. You could make them not symmetrical, and then things would line up less often. You'd have more dead ends. I guess that's okay. I like it symmetrical, and so if I um, put this here, then I'm also going to want to put it on this other side, right? Well, I don't necessarily need to put it there, but I think I will. Where I really need to put it, if I put one there, I need to put one here as well, right? Because that means when this piece rotates, it'll still connect into here, right? So I'm doing 2 to 3 off of the angle, counterclockwise, or yeah, clockwise. Boom and boom. And here I've demonstrated that I also want to do it clockwise, so we'll do here and here. Rotational symmetry is the key here. And so that's getting us into these kind of rainbow bites. We definitely want more than that. How many more do we want than that? So across this arc here, it's easy to do one at kind of the 45-degree angle. So I'll usually do one of those. And so I might as well go pop those in. The other option is to do just either side of 45 degrees and not do the 45 if you're feeling a little tight. I think we have enough room to do all of the above. Yeah, that was not on target there. Okay, I think we have enough room to do all of the above. So I'm going to put one here. And I think, so if I put that there, then I need to do one counterclockwise, or clockwise here, and clockwise here, and clockwise here. And that's not getting too tight, is it? I don't think it is. I think that's plenty of room for these to turn and not run into each other. And then I think I'm just going to go for this. You don't need this symmetry, I don't think. I'm going to do it anyway, because I want more corridors in my maze. Okay, they're all facing the right ways. Okay, and so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 20 entrances into that large circle. Now on all of the bites, the inner bites here, we're going to need to do the same lines, right? To match these ones here. There's still plenty of room for those to avoid each other, so I think that's still working. Did I do that wrong? Oh, I was going to do the wrong side of that, but this worked out. Oh gosh, I hope you guys can actually see where I'm drawing lines here. Okay, and so now that I've got my circles drawn out, and well, we still got a lot of corridors to do. This is why I said I didn't know how long this is going to take. So we got to put there's going to be corridors crossing into here because we've already defined that this bites in this are going to have that because of this, right? And we need that to be replicated everywhere so the corridors will always line up. Corridors will always line up. Maybe I could just darken these lines up a little bit without being too careful about their circularness. And then when I digitize it, I'm going to be more careful when I digitize this one. I've had a few people ask for the original Rotating Labyrinth digital files, and they are not usable. for pretty much anything that anyone would want to use them for. Just because of how the primitive way that I did it. I'm gonna try to be better this time. So we defined basically all of these tick marks that I've added, right? All of these. What the? I think this one's wrong. All of these boundary crossings that I've added are only for this large circle at this point, right? We've done all the boundary crossings that come from the mouse bites out of that guy. So I'm just going to take a second and verify that everything's in the right place before I continue. These were in the wrong place. This one's in the wrong place. And as you can see on the original Rotating Labyrinth, I made that mistake in one place, right, where this needed to be counterclockwise from center, and I made it clockwise from center, while the rest of them are, well, most of the rest of them are counterclockwise. All the rest are counterclockwise, and so you can see two places where I had to make a correction to get those to line up. We're going to try to avoid that this time. Even if testing is always a negative experience, because either you find nothing to fix and you've wasted your time testing, or you find things to fix and now you have extra work to do. We're going to go ahead and do testing. And wow, we're catching a lot of errors. I made a lot of mistakes on these diagonal enter ones, the ones either side of the 45. And same mistake every time. So now I know exactly what I'm looking for as far as that mistake. I think that's all of them. Okay, so the next thing to do is going to be entrances to this larger circle, or this other large circle. Oh, you know what? I missed here. We need these ones too. Okay, good. So entrances to this other large circle are going to have, they're probably going to look about the same as over here. Do I want to mix it up at all? I think I want these ones still. So these entrances that are either side of the 90 degrees by a couple squares. I like those. Right there. And right there. And right there. And right there. And right there. So I'm going to retain those. The most interesting ones there are here inside that circle, right, where they can really get busted up. But everything will get there eventually. On the outside, I think I'm going to make it a little different on the outside. And I'm going to, this looks a little crowded to me. And I want this one to be a little less crowded because I'm trying to fit a circle in there. I'm going to, I think I just want to do two either side of 45. So 45 is here. I want them to be almost exactly in the same place because they're pretty good distance apart already. So maybe like that and like that, and just dump this 45 so we get a little bit of extra room in the rainbows. That's really what I'm feeling, I think, is that that having this 45 here in addition to those would leave us very little room to maneuver inside the rainbows. Okay, yeah, I feel good about that choice. So here we go. And on this one, the rainbows. Okay. Now all these other rainbows need the same thing, right? So we need to put here, and here, here, and here, and hopefully this isn't boring. I hope you're still with me. If you are, thank you for sticking with us. This may have been an awful idea. I do hope that you're going at 2 times speed. I think that's all of the. I lied. So we still need to do this. That circle is so far off. I don't know. This is bad. Clean it up in post. And then, well, and one here. All right, so we got the rainbows taken care of. And now all that's left is the ingresses and egresses to this circle here. And those are going to end up all through here. And so I don't know, probably 3 per side should be reasonable, right? We've gone with 4 and 5 per side here. 3 here should be reasonable. If we're doing 3 per side, I think the best thing for symmetry is to pop them on either side of here of the 45, right? And then either side of the 45. Here. And are we gonna go here again? I think that spacing makes sense. We could space it a little further. Be interesting to space it all the way down to here and have it line up with that. But we can always have some zigzags in here. Let's see, it's about 3 from there, and it's about, I think I'm gonna move it down 1, but not 2. Yeah, because if I move it down 1, we're gonna end up with 1, 3 down this way, 3 down this way, and that's gonna give us a 6 gap and a 4 gap. I moved it another one, we'd have a 5 and a 5, no, we'd have a 4 and a 5. I think that's what I want to do. Okay. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna be here and here, and here and here, here and nope, wrong. Here and here, and then here, here, here. So that's all of them on that circle, but we got to go through and we got to add them on all these bytes, right? So get the 45. I'm going to be real careful right now. Well, actually, it's going to line up right here, right? Because they're a perfect reflection. And now I'm putting more symmetry than I need to here, right? Because I'm doing not only 90-degree rotational symmetry, but a reflected symmetry. You could cut out a bunch of these or move them. So you could move like this one, this one, this one, and this one, or remove them completely. And you would still have that rotational symmetry without having the reflection symmetry. But it is just a lot easier for me to think about where they should go when the symmetry is more complete. And so that's why I do that. Or a big reason why I do that. And so we got this and this. It's a little awkward that these aren't lining up with each other. We knew that when we drew it here. I think that's just gonna put some more blank corners in. I think it'll be okay. But like I said, this is all getting pretty tight. I wanted to have more rooms with interesting things going on in Rotating Labyrinth 2.0, and that may still happen. Where am I? Oh, it's because these are facing outward. I don't have the... When I was doing these pieces, I could see if they lined up across to each other, and that told me if I did it right. Here, they're facing outward instead of inward. It's making that check a little harder. I think I did this one wrong. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 45, and we need a 45 here. Last one is this one. Okay. Check all those. I think this may be one of those cases where you check in your and you don't have to catch very many. Oh, I have to catch this one. All right, good thing we checked. Except bad thing we checked, because now we gotta erase things, and I have to admit to you that I messed these up. Right, I even had the ability to tell if they were facing each other, and that means that the error just got propagated. Because we should be 3 from here, yeah. Good, 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 good. Check all these again. 3, 3, 3. And then these outward facing ones. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. I actually had a better track record on the outward facing ones where I thought they were harder, probably because I was paying more attention. And that is the bulk of this, is to get that figured out, right? So we got everybody with those things. We should think about this smaller circle. He can't really have a passage on the 45 because we didn't give him a way out on the 45 here. If we had, it would be kind of lined up. Not the 45s aren't lined up, so I didn't really want to do that anyway. I think we're going to go just counterclockwise from the 90s on him. And nope, I don't like that, because then that passage really doesn't have room to wander. Should have started down here. So we're going to go clockwise of the 90s. That gives us enough clearance there. Not as much as I was trying to get with the counterclockwise. And then, yikes. So both of these passages are really just going to need to get their act together, right? And that'll be okay. We can handle that. So I just had an idea. I need to think about if I like it or not. And the idea was having a smaller circle, maybe in this area, in one of these bytes. A circle completely in a byte would be cool, right? But my bytes are so small because of the way I did them on this one that there's not a lot of room to do that. But maybe I could get a small byte with only 2 entrances and exits that rotates 180. What would that even buy us? Doesn't really get us anything, right? And 3 means that it has to rotate 120 degrees instead of 90, and I don't want to do that. Okay, yeah, I think no small circles inside the bytes. Let's do a little experiment. If we have a small circle that's a 2x2 right here, right? That's or a radius of 2. Sorry, not 2 by 2. That may fit in the small bites, and it's big enough that we could do some interesting passages in and out of it, right? Okay, let's see if a 2 by 2 or a 2 radius circle fits in here nicely. I want to put it. I want to put it. I want to put it so that it's right on this 45, and then put the entrances to it on the 45s instead of on the adjacent to the 90s. Will that work? I think that'll work. And then the question is, so if I put it here on that corner, it cuts into that other guy. And if I put it here on this corner, oh, it's right there. I don't really like that because it means that we've split that circle into 2 pieces. And regardless, it's going to make this so tight that it may not be possible to cut out for the end user, right? But I'm going to try this. I'm going to try going directly to the middle of this circle and having the circle be cut, kind of split the difference, right? And that's not so tight. That might be okay. All right, we're going to try that. And so that means we get to have a little extra bit of fun in here in this little mouse bite. It's just kind of a merry-go-round. It's not going to have a huge impact on the maze there, right? But it's an extra source of confusion. And we could maybe do another one in some of these other mouse bites. But he's going to have entrances at the 45s. So we'll have one here. We'll have one here. And all right. So I don't want to do any more circles right now. I do want to have room in those mouse bites to have fun stuff going on. The original Rotating Labyrinth, I had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 circles, and here we've only got 5. But I think I'm satisfied with 5. This is already kind of gross.